Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopijana Vallabha Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Thank you.
Jamuna Tira
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Pijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaisacinandana Braja Janaranjana Jaisacinandana Braja Janaranjana Jaisacinandana Braja Janaranjana Jaisacinandana Braja Janaranjana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Jaya Radha Radhanath Radha Radhanath Radhe Jaya. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Jaya Gaura Hare, Gaura Hare, Gaura Hare, Jaya Gaura Hare. Gaura Hare, Jaya Gaura Hare, Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Gaura Haribo, Nitai Go. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Itaigo Premanandi, Jayam Vishnupad, Paramamsa Parivrajikacharya, Dr. Srimad, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki, ISKCON Founder Charya Srila Prabhupada Ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnavan Ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki, Srila Veda Vyasadev Ki, Bhakti Vedanta Purports Ki, Go Premanandi, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Guru and Gauranga, of his lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaivam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udinayet Nasta Prayasya Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavat Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Hare Krishna. So today's we're reading from the 4th canto, chapter 7, text number 30. The sacrifice performed by Daksha. Brigu Huvacha Yat Mayaya Gahanaya Aparita Atmabodha Brahma Adaya Tanubritaha Tamasi Swapanta Na Atman Shritam Tava Vidanti Aduna Api Tatvam Sa Ayam Prasidatu Bhavan Pranatahatma Bandhu Brigu Vacha Yanmayaya Kahana Paritat Atma Bodha Yanmayaya Kahanu Paritatma Bodha. Let's start this. Yanmaya gahanuya paritatma bodha. Yanmaya gahanuya paritatma bodha. Brahmadayastanu britastamasi swapanta. Natman sritam tava vidandyanunapi tattvam. Tava vidandyanunapi tattva. Soyam prasidatu bhavan pranatatma bandhu. Yam prasidatu bhavan brahmatatma bandhu. Briguvacha Yanmaya gahanuya paritatma bodha. Ganu Brahmadayastanu britastamasi papanta. Natman sritam tava vidanyadunapi tattvam. Soyam prasidatu bhavan pranatatma bandhu. Briguvacha Yanmaya gahanaya paratatma bodha. Brahmadayastanu britastamasi swapanta. Natman shritam tava vidant yadunapi tattvam. Tava vidandyadunapi tattvam. Soyam prasidatu bhavan pranatatma bandhu. Tatma bandhu. Briguvacha Yanmaya gahanaya paritatma bodha. Brahmadayastanu britastamasi swapanta. Natman shritam tava vidandyadunapi tattvam. Soyam prasidatu bhavan pranatatma bandhu. Briguvacha Yanmaya ganaya paritatma bodha. Brahmadayastanu britastamasi swapanta. Natman shritam tava vidandyadunapi tattvam. Soyam prasidatu bhavan pranatatma bandhu. Briguvacha Yanmaya ganaya paritatma bodha. Brahmadayastanu britastamasi swapanta. Natman shritam tava vidandyadunapi tattvam. Soyam prasidatu bhavan brahmatatma bandhu. Briguvacha Sri Brigu said, Yat who, Mayaya, by illusory energy, Gahanaya, insurmountable, Aparita, stolen, Atmabat Bodha, knowledge of the constitutional position, Brahmahadaya, Lord Brahma, etc. Tanubrita, embodied living entities. Tamasi, in the darkness of illusion. Swapanta, lying down. Na, not. Atman, in the living entity. Shritam, situated in. Tava, your. Vidanti, understand. Aduna, now. Api, certainly. Tatvam, absolute position. Sa, you. I am this. Prasida to, be kind. Bhavan, your lordship. Pranatat Mahatma, surrendered soul. Bandhu, friend. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So Sir Bhrigu said, my dear Lord, all living entities beginning from the highest, namely Lord Brahma, down to the ordinary hand, are under the influence of the insurmountable spell of illusory energy. And thus they are ignorant of the constitutional position. Everyone believes in the concept of the body, and all are thus submerged in the darkness of illusion. They are actually unable to understand how you live in every living entity as the supersoul, nor can they understand your absolute position. But you are the eternal friend and protector of all surrendered souls. Therefore, please be kind towards us and forgive all our offense. Everyone repeat the response. Sri Bhrigu said, my dear Lord, all living entities, beginning from the highest, namely Lord Brahma, down to the ordinary hand, are under the influence of the insurmountable spell of illusory energy, and thus they are ignorant of their constitutional position. Everyone believes in the concept of the body, and all are thus submerged in the darkness of illusion. They are actually unable to understand how you live in every living entity as the supersoul, nor can they understand your absolute position. But you are the eternal friend and protector of all surrendered souls. Therefore, please be kind towards us and forgive us all our offenses. Purport. Bhrigu Muni was conscious of the scandalous behavior exhibited by each and every one of them, including Brahma and Lord Shiva, in the sacrificial ceremony of Daksha. By mentioning Brahma, the chief of all living entities within this material world, he wanted to state that everyone, including also Brahma and Lord Shiva, is under the concept of the body and under the spell of material energy, all but Vishnu. That is the vision of Bhrigu. As long as one is under the concept of the body as self, it is very difficult to understand the supersoul or the supreme personality of Godhead. Conscious that he was not greater than Brahma, Bhrigu included himself in the list of offenders. Ignorant personalities or conditioned souls have no choice but to accept the precarious conditions under material nature. The only remedy is to surrender to Vishnu and always pray to be excused. One should depend only on the causeless mercy of the Lord for deliverance and not even slightly on one's own strength. That is the perfect position of a Krishna-conscious person. The Lord is everyone's friend, but He is especially friendly to the surrendered soul. The simple process, therefore, is that a conditioned soul should remain surrendered to the Lord, and the Lord will give him all protection to keep him out of the clutches of material contamination. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumalitam Jaina Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jaina Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunath Hanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So the Bhrigu Muni is addressing the Supreme Personality of God, who was the presiding deity in the sacrifice. It is said, nothing is complete. No yagya or sacrifice is complete without the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And it's also said that when the holy name is not sung, and where prasadam is not distributed, and where there's no remuneration to the brahmanas, this is also incomplete, the sacrifice. So Bhrigu is remorseful in that in the ensuing arena of the sacrifice there was this great disagreement or tussle, war between Lord Shiva's party and the party of Daksha. And of course there was, we understand there was so much of cursing, counter-cursing, each one was cursing each other. And it was very, very painful for Lord Shiva, even could not tolerate it, and eventually he left the arena. So Bhrigu Muni is praying to the Lord, and he's realizing that their mistakes. He's feeling very remorseful, and he's asking for forgiveness for the offenses. So similarly, Prabhupada is saying this material world, we're in a very precarious situation. And we don't have realization of that because we're so much conditioned, so deeply covered by this material energy, this Maya, that we falsely identify with this body, and based on the bodily concept. Sit there on the chair. Not now, later. Yeah, so the precarious, that Prabhupada mentions the word precarious, that it's dangerous. It is so dangerous that although we're so covered, we think there's some trying to eke out some kind of enjoyment, try to, sometimes they use this cliche, chewing the chewed. We try to enjoy some remnants of what's enjoyed already, not realizing the danger that death is coming so close to us every day. As the verse in Bhagavatam says, from the rising of the sun, when the sun rises, when the sun sets, ayu arati vaipumsam, that when we watch the sunrise, sunset, means one day closer to our death. Jai Sri Sri Radhanath ki, Sri Giriraj Govardhan ki, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Gaur Hari ki Jai, Sri Prabhupada ki Jai. Yeah, and we're not utilizing that time, as the verse says, glorifying the Supreme Lord with wonderful verses, and chanting His holy names and engaging in devotional activities. Then our life is wasted. It's like futile, especially for a human being. A human being is meant for higher realization. Higher consciousness is there. And he has to come to that point of seeing that this material world is a dead end. It's a dead end. So human life means become at crossroads, whether we go forward or we go backward, whether we regress or progress. That is the crux of human life, and making inquiries about our situation and the understanding the precarious nature of this material world. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna addresses Arjuna in the third chapter, I think. Second chapter, so he says, Durena yavaram karma. He says, keep all abominable activities far away. Dur means far. Durena. In Tamil also we say dur means far. Durena. Keep it far away. How? By engaging in devotional activities. Now, what is abominable? Anything short of being Krishna conscious, or anything short of devotional activities that whatever we do, whatever activities we do, if it's not connected to Krishna consciousness, then it's considered abominable. Prabhupada uses the word. Krishna actually translates it as, Prabhupada translates it as abominable. For Arjuna, yes, Arjuna had to fight and kill. That's abominable in one sense. But because he's doing it on the bequest of Krishna, then it's devotional activity. It is devotional service. Durena varam karma. Keep all abominable activities far away. In that way, we'll become the ultimate goal of becoming free from this bodily concept of life. This bodily concept is so deeply ingrained, it's like entrenched in us. It is so, because conditioning is so deep there, that we identify so easily with the body, with your family, with your city, your town, then in a more the country, internationally, this planet, we identify like that. This bodily concept. And due to that, we see that Enya mentioned he's mentioning Brahma and Shiva, although they are such exalted personalities. But sometimes they come under the sway of this Maya, this material nature. And Bhrigu is also a very powerful personality. Brahma created so many powerful personalities. Bhrigu, Narad Muni, Daksha, to name a few. So many, the four Kumaras. But of all these personalities, well, at the time of the impetus was there for creation, and Daksha is the Prajapati. That was his job. That was his. Daksha means perfect. One of the qualities of a devotee, 26 qualities, that is expert. So Daksha, he was expert in progeny, like that. And Brahma wanted all his sons to be focused on that. But the four Kumaras had other ideas. They were, by some good fortune, they became self-realized. Knowing the goal of life. So in the first canto, after Vyas is entrusted with of dividing the Vedas into very, very monumental, extremely monumental task. Beyond human calculation. Of course, Vyasadeva is revered as the literal incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he divided the Vedas, saying that the people of the age weren't very qualified, or in some way they had so many discrepancies, anomalies, and he said, no, better, we'll make it simplified for them. And in this way, he divided the Vedas, but catering more for those, how they can be happy in the material world, how they can enjoy by performing jagyas, so on, like that. But then he realized, he came to that he wasn't really, so he was regretting his defect. There was something amiss, something he didn't do right. And as he was regretting that in his kutir, Narad Muni happens to come somehow, by providence. Narad Muni comes to the kutir of Vyasadeva, and of course, there's pleasantries exchanged, and Narad Muni is praising him for his, and then Narad Muni is pointing out what he didn't do, So it gives him instructions. Narad Muni takes this role of spiritual master to Vyasadeva. So in the fifth chapter, he quotes this, he's speaking to Vyasadeva. Tasya eva heto prayate to kovido nalabhyate yad brahmatam uparihadaha tadlabhyate dukkavad hanyata sukham kalena sarvatra gabira ramasa. The translation says, persons who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should therefore endeavor only for that purposeful end, which is not obtainable even by wandering from the topmost planet, Brahmaloka, down to the lowest planet, Patalaloka. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in course of time, just as in course of time we obtain miseries, even though we do not desire them. And Srila Prabhupada gives a very profound purport on that. He says, every man everywhere is trying to obtain the greatest amount of sense enjoyment by various endeavors. Some of them are busy engaged in trade, industry, economic development, political supremacy, etc. And some of them engage in fruitive work to become happy in the next life by attaining higher planets. It is said that in the moon the inhabitants are fit for greater sense enjoyment by drinking somaras, and the Pitri Loka is obtained by good charitable work. So there are various programs for sense enjoyment, either during the life or in the life after death. Some are trying to reach the moon or other planets by some mechanical arrangement, for they are very anxious to get into such planets without doing good work. But it is not to happen. By the law of the Supreme, different places are meant for different grades of living beings, according to the work they might have performed. By good work only, as prescribed in the scriptures, one can obtain birth in a good family, opulence, good education, and good bodily features. We see also that even in this life, once some obtains a good education, or money, or bodily beauty. Similarly, in our next birth, we get such desirable positions only by good work. Otherwise, it would not so happen that two persons born in the same place at the same time are seen differently placed according to previous work. But all such material positions are not permanent. The positions in the topmost Brahma Loka, in the lowest Patal, are also changeable according to our own work. The philosophically inclined persons must not be tempted by such changeable positions. He should try to get into the permanent life of bliss and knowledge, where he will not be forced to come back again to the miserable material world, either in this or that planet. Miseries and mixed happiness are two features of material life, and they are obtained in Brahma Loka and other lokas also. Yesterday, Swarup Prabhu was mentioning about these anchoring, lamenting, anchoring and nasochati na kanchati. And this is the anchoring and lamenting. Nasochati na kanchati. There's always this constant anchoring and lamenting is there. We lament for what we had and lost. Or we lament we misspent youth, in our old age we're suffering, like that. And we're always anchoring for something better, something, oh, I wish I could stay young, eternally youthful, be free from material diseases, like we all are plagued. Some point in our lives, we all are plagued with some disease or some debilitating bodily discomforts are there. But for a devotee, Srila Prabhupada said, taking birth in the material world, we have a bad bargain. We have a bad bargain. We have to contend birth, that disease, old age, contend with the three kleshas, Adihatmik, Adibautik, Adidevik. These are miseries of heat and cold, plague, or drought, famine. And we're never happy. We're never happy. I was speaking to one devotee who relocated to Joburg the other night. He's old, he's sickly. But he said it was a big regret why he went. He's staying in Centurion Park, and he's got 2 blankets on him. He's sitting in his couch. He's got the heater on, and he's still feeling cold. I can imagine that. So wherever you go in the material world, you will always complain. We never get everything favorable to our situation. That's even in the higher planets. Krishna is saying, Dukkalayam Shashvatam. From Brahma is mentioned, Brahma Loka, down to Pataloka, as this verse is mentioning also. They are places of misery. They are temporary. Dukkalayam Shashvatam. They are miserable. But we don't take heed of that. We simply, we have this denial. The analogy of the ostrich burying its head in the sand. He's seeing imminent danger. A lion or some ferocious animal is chasing him. And he buries his head in the sand, thinking that the danger will go away. So we have this kind of mentality, ostrich in the ground mentality also, denial. So therefore, the revealed scriptures give us the solution. And we have to take to, by realization, intelligence, to see, yes, we see suffering around us. We see that. And for a devotee, he sees that compassion is there. He sees suffering. Like Prahlad. Prahlad was given benedictions and he said, no, for me, I'm not in anxiety. He says these household, they simply engaged in household life, simply engage in enjoying, sense enjoyment. I worry about them. I care for them. I care for them. For me, so a devotee is paradukha. The mood of a devotee is paradukha dukkha. He feels this compassion. And therefore we see in all our acharyas, even in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this mood of compassion for the living entities. The Lord created this material world because we desired it. Otherwise there was no need for the material world. We desired to be here. Thinking, yes, it's our playground. We'll have some pleasure and try to imitate the Lord in so many ways, try to enjoy. Till we come to realize that the Lord is the Supreme Purusha. And we are false enjoyers. Like is mentioned in the 13th chapter, the nature of the how through this ahankar, this mode of false ego, how this ahankar makes us think, yes, we the enjoyers. We are but actually we are the false enjoyer. By realization we come to understand that we are the false enjoyer. We are the actually we are to be enjoyed. We are prakriti. When we understand like that, and the Supreme Lord is Purusha. Purusha. He's the enjoyer. So until we come to that realization, then we'll always be hankering for sense enjoyment, to try to imitate in so many ways. And that'll be to our precarious nature of this material world. To Prabhupada is saying. In another purport, Prabhupada is saying, it is the qualification of the great thinkers to pick up the best even from the worst. It is said intelligent men should pick up nectar even from a stalk of poison, should accept gold even from a filthy place, should accept a good qualified wife even from an obscure family, and should accept a good lesson from a teacher or a man who comes from the untouchables. These are some of the ethical instructions for everyone in every place in that exception. But a saint is far from the level of an ordinary man, and is always absorbed in glorifying the Supreme Lord, because by broadcasting the holy name and fame of the Supreme Lord, it can change the polluted atmosphere of the world. The polluted atmosphere of the world will change. And as a result of propagating the transcendental utterances, literatures mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, people will become sane in their interactions. Sane in a sense, they'll be conscious of the identity. Dhiras tatra namuyati. Krishna uses the dhira, means a sober, sane, sober person. Means he understands Atma Tattva. Atma Tattva, the science of the soul, the truth of the soul. Atma Tattva. Therefore, he's sober. He's a sober, he's a self-realized. He realizes Dehinosman yatade kumaran jovanam. This is a very famous, often quoted verse. We're all familiar with this verse. Dehinosman yatade kumaran jovanam jara tatadahantara prapti dhiras tatra. It says, as a body soul continually passes from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes on at the time of death. It says, and a sober person is not bewildered by all these changes. He's not bewildered. And we see that this Bhagavad Gita is a science, and Krishna is the greatest scientist. Because this Bhagavad Gita is not just for those of Hindu origin. No, it's for the universal. It applies to everyone who's taken birth, whether you're Christian, American, Jew, Russian. We all are going through the same motions of, isn't the Hinusman Yata? Everyone, even the animals, are going through that. So this applies. It's a very applicable to all those taken who are in this material world. And to become dhira, sober, self-realized. Sometimes it may take many lifetimes, sometimes it may take one stroke of a lifetime. By some good fortune, I've seen in the history of the culture of Krishnamani got purified, isn't? From that, from a degraded life. We see in the life of who wrote the Ramayana? Valmiki, thank you. Valmiki, yeah. Valmiki recounts his life, in a previous, previously, before he became Valmiki. He was a very, very dangerous man. Very, like a dacoit. A dacoit, he would not hesitate to kill somebody. He would rob people, hijack them. And at some point he came, by some good fortune, Narad Muni happened to be coming that way, and he accosted Narad Muni. And Narad Muni started to preach to him about his family and his children, what will happen. So that dawned on him. It made a very significant change in him. And he gave up that life, sinful life. He gave it up just by the association of a pure devotee. Just by the association. So we all need that special mercy. And therefore Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada in his Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in their magnanimous nature, they come to give us this Krishna consciousness, how to get love of God. That's our greatest gift. That's our greatest anchoring for all of us, to get Krishna Prem. That's what we should be hankering for. And we should lament in that we did not take it too soon. We did not, sometimes, like me, I always regret like that, lamenting. Yesterday we were discussing that. Lamenting, when Prabhupada landed in Durban, in Louis Botha Airport, that time the airport was very close to us. I was living in Spingo Beach, which was like 15 minutes away. I think I was in my 20s. But I was in another kind of altered state of consciousness. Never dawned on me such a great, it's almost right near, next door. It never dawned on me, like that. But somehow in that time also, I was a very avid reader, because we lived opposite the library, just across the road. And I would often go there and read sometimes 2-3 novels in a week. But I was always looking for some new material, so I would look in the CNA newspaper. It was always advertising some latest bestseller, like that. And then I saw a picture of the science of self with Srila Prabhupada. And I looked at this picture, and this man is not from here. Prabhupada, you see him staring like he's looking up into the, I think there's something special about this man. And then I got this book, and I started reading this book, and at that time, made so much sense to me. But still, I was so covered. I was so covered by, I guess, the association I had, and like that, thinking here, sense enjoyment, like that. But somehow that book, Prabhupada said, these are like time bombs. These books, at some point in your life, they will make a significance change. They will change you. Yeah, many years later, it was in the 80s. This book I bought in the 70s, maybe mid-70s, I think in conjunction when Prabhupada arrived here in 1975. I would assume it was that time, around there, when I first read this book. Yeah. So the point I'm making, how these books are such powerful weapons or time bombs that at some point they will impact on us and they will change our lives, like it changed so many. We all can account to that. That we've made some tangible, significant change from the time we read Srila Prabhupada's books, from the time we associated with devotees. That is tangible difference, although we may still have some past that needs that, but we have that one positive, one step forward, and that will take us out of this precarious, will extricate us from this precarious material world. And having that kind, and we should think about the others, they in their misfortune, how unfortunate they are. That we should have, that compassion. Also, we should reflect, and that will please the parampara, that will please Sri Krishna. On his behalf, we go and reclaim holy conditioned souls and give them the realization of what Bhagavatam is, the real message of Srimad Bhagavatam, the message of Bhagavad Gita, and make our lives, make us happy. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Is there any questions or comments? Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.